Halloween, a night of costumes, candy, and spooky fun. Children dress as ghosts, witches, and superheroes. They go door to door saying trick or treat. But behind the sugary facade lies a rich history, stretching back thousands of years. Halloween's origins are steeped in ancient traditions and beliefs. It is a tapestry woven from Celtic harvest festivals, Roman religious practices, and Christian observances. Halloween's roots can be traced to the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. The Celts were a group of people who lived in Ireland, Britain, and parts of Europe over 2,000 years ago. They celebrated their new year on November 1st. This marked the end of summer and the harvest and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time associated with death. Celts believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to Earth. Celts celebrated Samhain with bonfires, costumes, and feasts. It was a time to honor the dead and take stock of the harvest. They also believed that the presence of otherworldly spirits made it easier for the Druids, or Celtic priests, to make predictions about the future. To appease these spirits, the Celts would leave out food and drink as offerings. It was a time of both celebration and superstition. In the 1st century AD, the Roman Empire conquered much of Celtic territory. As a result, two Roman festivals, Feralia and Pomona, became intertwined with the traditional Celtic celebration of Samhain. Feralia, observed in late October, was a day to commemorate the passing of the dead. Romans would visit the graves of their ancestors and offer prayers and food. The festival of Pomona honored the Roman goddess of fruits and trees. Pomona was associated with abundance and harvest, themes that resonated with the Celtic celebration of Samhain. The merging of these Roman festivals with Samhain added new layers of tradition and belief to the celebration. By the 8th century, Christianity had spread throughout much of Europe. The Church sought to replace pagan holidays with Christian observances. In 609 AD, Pope Boniface IV established All Saints' Day on November 1st. This holy day was intended to honor all Christian saints, known and unknown. It was also known as All Hallows' Day, or All Hallowmas. The evening before All Saints' Day, October 31st, became known as All Hallows' Eve, which later evolved into Halloween. The Church also designated November 2nd as All Souls' Day, a day to commemorate the dead. This day was observed with similar traditions to Feralia, including prayers, alms for the poor, and the ringing of church bells. The influence of these Christian holidays further shaped the celebration of Halloween, shifting its focus from pagan deities and spirits to Christian saints and the souls of the departed. Over the centuries, Halloween evolved from a solemn religious observance into a more secular holiday. Many of the traditions we associate with Halloween today, such as trick-or-treating and wearing costumes, emerged during the Middle Ages. The practice of trick-or-treating is thought to have originated from the medieval tradition of souling. On All Souls' Day, poor citizens would go door to door begging for food in exchange for prayers for the dead. The food, often a type of pastry called a soul cake, was seen as an offering to help the deceased on their journey in the afterlife. Wearing costumes on Halloween is also rooted in ancient beliefs. During Samhain, Celts disguised themselves in costumes made of animal skins and heads to ward off evil spirits. This tradition continued through the Middle Ages, with people dressing as saints, angels, and demons. Halloween, as we celebrate it today, is a rich tapestry woven from threads of ancient Celtic rituals, Roman festivals, and Christian traditions. From the bonfires of Samhain to the costumes of modern trick-or-treaters, the echoes of these ancient practices are still evident. Halloween reminds us of our connection to the past, a time when the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead was thought to be thin. It is a time to celebrate the cycle of life and death, to remember those who came before us, and to indulge in a bit of playful fear and revelry. So, as you carve your pumpkins and don your costumes this Halloween, remember the long and fascinating history that shaped this unique and enduring celebration.